So let's talk about Onision. Now, why is this interesting? I don't have to justify that, but let's roll into it this way. Now, we had a little bit of a cult brouhaha about antinatalists, specifically Gary and Ethylism, being a cult. But even when that accusation was made, it was clear it was made metaphorically and intellectually, and people are going, no, that's the same kind of thing. And just the reality is, everybody admitted, there isn't really going to be a cult, probably. None of Gary's main, opponents, or whatever you would call it, really think that he has the kind of disposition to make a cult. I could go into why that is, but I think the point is that we all pretty much accept that, the kinds of manipulation and personalities that lead to that. Somebody else might start one, but somebody else might start a cult based on anything. So Onision is an example, though, of like, this is cult watch. This is prime, and there's no such thing as a cult. There's no inherent thing. It's just a tight-knit group of people, grows big enough, has certain, maybe characteristics that seem socially detrimental in the larger picture. Predatory, manipulative, whatever these little signals are for us, and then we start calling it that. Now, Onision is like, he has these young, impressionable followers. He spends a lot of his time on his Onision Speaks channel being judgmental and slut-shaming and bad-talking the hygiene of girlfriends he's having public disputes with, while at the same time telling other people you shouldn't have public disputes with your exes when you don't bring your private life on. Anyway, he's frustrating, but still, I think there's an actual danger there. I mean, there's thousands of local people and tight-knit groups that are potentially as, or more worrisome that I don't know about. This one I find interesting, And remember, I got into this with the whole thing with Shiloh, his girlfriend, having this kind of seizure, and them coming up with why they didn't call 911, and bad-mouthing the medical profession, like, they'll just experiment on her. And I'm like, this is where I mind if 13-year-olds need to get in the habit of, here's the kinds of things. It's not just your intuition. It's not just your fear. Here's the kind of signs where you can use an empirical idea of when you ought to call 911. Okay, if your partner's like this, I love you. Okay, they're having some sort of a seizure, or they're faking it, or whatever. They need to go to the doctor. Okay, but look, this kid, Onision, some severe issues. One, he just made this video about how him dumping the people and his friends and partner shows that he was in the right, that he's a virtuous person. Okay, I'll read a little message of his. Again, going to Onision Drama, people have screen capped his, his Facebook or something. So, but anyway, so in this video, he talks about his success. That's why I'm so successful, because I'm a hard worker. Or no, maybe that was the video on why you have to dump bad friends or something. So I'm a hard worker. That's why I'm so successful, which is like, so successful. Look, he is skirting the edge. Like, they uninvited him to YouTube gatherings and stuff. He's skirting the edge with some of the slut-shaming and things he does. Right? And if he were to lose his YouTube privileges, he has nothing. He has nothing. He couldn't gather. He's making a living off of these 13-year-old audience, their interest. There's no way he could transfer that. There's no other options for this kind of performance he does. That kind of success, it's like, he's very deluded, young man. Okay, look, here's what he wrote. It's kind of a poem. I'm incredibly awesome, and the world can't make that go away. From the day I was born to now, I followed my heart and what I know to be the right way. Integrity has driven me from my first witness of light, and no one can stop the echo of my words, as they are already embedded in thousands who share my sight. Taking on thousands who curse my name, I stand proudly even today. You can never reverse the lives I've saved and the wisdom I've shared. There's just no way. I'm a Nision. I'm truly free. Even if I die tomorrow, the changes I've made to this world will forever be. There's nothing quite so revealing as bad poetry. That's why I embrace the writing of it. But, yeah, this is proto-cult stuff. Okay, here's the kicker. I dumped all of them. Someone just revealed they were not up to speed on the unanimous moral victories I've incurred. So here you go. Moral victories. Broken relationships as moral victories. Onision's exes. X1, proven with evidence to have lied to / stolen from Onision. X2, proven with evidence to have lied / cheated on Onision, plus admitted to being a liar-cheater. X3, accused of being a liar / slanderer only to admit she was wrong, apologized, requested a friendship with Onision. Ex-friend 1, unfriended because of his poor treatment of women, requested Onision's friendship at a later date, stating he had changed. Onision still refuses due to his history of lying. Ex-friend 2, proven with evidence to have lied to, used, betrayed Onision. Individual has yet to admit their obvious fault. And that ex-friend 2 is someone Onision has lived with and everything and done lots of videos with. And the betrayal was that the person was uncomfortable and wanted with a video he'd recorded with Onision and wanted to take him down. After 8 hours of editing on Onision's part, a whole day wasted. Yeah, what friendship is worth a wasted day? Sorry. So many doubt me, but those who know me love me because I have been so consistently virtuous all this time. Not just honest, not just broken after broken after. But why are you choosing a bunch of liars and cheaters to hang out with Onision? Maybe do you possibly need to be lied to? Maybe you don't accept people unless they lie to you, so you end up with liars. You ever think of that? No. And he has really this you know, his movies, his comedy, his smosh type comedy, it's like whatever, that works on YouTube. But it's really his forms and his whole community. And they're incredibly tolerant of very obvious, overt lapses by someone claiming to be purely virtuous. And now I recognize in his little list how he sorts out what did every experience mean to me. I do that. But I also look for these kinds of things because there's always got to be, takes two people, you know, it could be 90% them and 10% you. And it's like, I went to a seedy bar because it's fun. I love that bar and they have cheap drinks. And then I got in a fight. It was the other guy's fault. He picked the fight with me. Well, the 10% is you chose to go down there and, you know, there's this situation, or maybe it's 1% or whatever. So if I come up with summaries of my experiences where I'm a virtuous angel and they're fucking assholes, that's impossible. Because at the very least, you have to blame yourself for not having better judge of character in the first place, right? So there's always a way. And of course, once you do that, you'll find out, oh, well, actually, here are also the things I did, or why I needed somebody fucked up because I had a fucked up thing that needed to hook up with that. You know, whatever it is you figure out, there's going to be something. He goes over his experiences and sums them up in a way specifically so that he's virtuous and stuff. This is actual cult-like stuff, right? This is somebody who wants to go read the items of cult-like behavior. We have this going on here, and he's making a living off of us and YouTube, and that could easily fund. You know, it already has bought him a place to live if he just starts letting fans live there with him. It's not good. It's already bad for people involved. If your 13-year-old's a big Onision fan on the forums and watch, then there's a problem. Okay, there is a problem with that. This is not just let it be time, part of relativism. This is the relativism of conflict. Yeah, there could be contradictions. I say something different from what the likes of Onision says. And I don't want a culture that tolerates it. I'm going to do my part to not tolerate it. Frankly, I think he's a problem, right? And so yeah.